So I want to make a video real quick of this guy right here. This guy's about almost 5 years, I want to say. Old little dude. He's about 6 inches from nose to front. And these guys that are all around him are nearly about 5 inches, some of them 4 inches, and I probably have two that are probably 3.5s. But a lot of these guys are, except for him, he's 5 years, these guys are at 5.5 months to 6 months. And they still got time to grow. So I want to explain about how putting discus in the smaller tank, even if you get juveniles, it's the wisest thing to do, just to get them up to par, the size. You could definitely see these discus are definitely going to be outgrowing this guy one day, probably within the next week or two. And they're very, very, very beautiful. And that's because since they're not mature, they still haven't gone all their colors. So what you see right now is just based upon dietary, water changes, good health care, and this is the tank they've been raised in since day one. This guy, I pulled him to the side. It's been 6 months, almost, 6 months actually, since I've had these guys in my care. And I added this guy at the beginning of the month. And now, just to see if these guys are ready, because I'm gonna have to start taking them out pretty soon to put them in a 90 gallon. And I want to see if it's okay already, and with the bacteria issue, etc., etc., and everything's looking out just perfect. Didn't notice any bacteria issue the first day. The second day, they were all rock and rolling. First day, they were all eating together, actually, through the bell system. And so this bell system right here, I'm noticing he's been kind of using it, building himself up. His fins have came back, his colors have came back. He was being bullied by these guys over here. These guys are aggressive. These guys are mean. They are non-forgiving. And so these guys, they're about 7 inches. One's probably 8 inches. These guys are huge. And so that little dude that's 6 inches, he was getting his ass torn. I have my Oscar in here right now, Char. He got beat up by the true parrot. See his arms. I put him in here. Ever since I put him in here, he's just been hanging out. No aggression, no nothing. Just healing, getting better. Colors are coming back on him too. He's actually moving around a lot more today than what he was. He is soaking in this corner over here underneath that light for probably a whole week. He's best friends with Bubba's, which is my chocolate. We kind of grew up together. But yeah, they're rocking and rolling. I fed these guys. I've been noticing a little bit of a weird wobble with this one. With this dude right here. A little bit of a weird wobble. He's looking a little skinny, so I'm thinking about dosing some Metro as soon as I can. These guys are healthy though, they're pooping. But I definitely need to get a dosage going for this tank maybe, just to be safe, because ever since I added him acting a little weird, chill, not swimming around, and then these guys just out of nowhere. But I've had all these guys for a while, so I mean, cross-contamination with them wouldn't even be a thing, in my opinion. Maybe a 1-2 day thing, but If they're still eating, going around, then I think they're pretty good. But with this guy right here, I don't know if you can see that little weird wobble that it got, with the front nose always being dipped down. It shows me something going on. So I checked the water temp is pretty good. It's reading at 83. So everything's working. He's looking a lot more better. This guy loves the camera. He's doing pretty good, and this guy's doing pretty good. So this is the only one I have to worry about right now. And I got lucky, the true parrot that beat him up. I guess Bubba's had his way with them and said, hey, you got my friend out with this tank, I'm gonna beat you up. So now that guy's a little beat up. But other than that, everything's rocking and rolling here. Yeah. These guys are probably gonna get a water change here in about an hour or two. Once they finish up that bell system right there. I kinda packed it a little too tight, I'm thinking. But usually that's what you wanna do. You wanna be gone like in the first hour. You kinda want it to spread out. Because they graze. So you can see stuff falls to the floor. And then the smaller ones will start to graze, but once they get full, they all kind of just huddle around. I fed them some beef heart earlier, the cubes, and I was just stick them onto the glass. And the smaller ones and all the ones that can't get to the bell usually attack that first, and it gives a chance for others to get it. As you can see, like, they'll take a bite, and taking that bite kind of pushes food out, drops to the floor. Even with all that aggression with this big guy, I can't be mad, because they're gonna have to learn about this. Even though they're young, they're gonna have to learn, and they're already big enough to kind of start fending for themselves. And as you can see, they already got a little pecking order going on, and so if they go too long without touching that bell, I'll just go ahead and do this, loosen it up, shake it up, and it drops a lot of the food down. Throws it around. But I've been feeding them a lot, very heavy lately. They all got little bellies. You can see that. It's a little belly. So I'm thinking they don't really go for their food as much as people would think. Which is really good, because I always worry about overfeeding. And so a lot of this food that goes around, it gets dispersed evenly. It might not look like it because you got this little guy right here. And so I'm thinking there's gonna be probably 2 or 3 of them that are either just slow growers because of genetics, or the little guy is eating, you can see him eating. Just maybe bad genetics. And so I got these guys all very, very small, you know. All of them were really, really small. That big guy was smaller than this guy. So it's kind of interesting seeing it all grow out. And it's really good video to show what a difference of what smaller breeder tanks for these smaller juniors, so you could have your water change easier. So all my water changes are super easy compared to a 90 gallon. If I'm doing a 90 gallon, the ratio of changing out the water is a little bit more than what I would do for this. And so I get more water changes throughout the day. I do sometimes 2 to 3 now that I got that big guy in there. And I'm feeding a little bit more heavier, and all that put together with that water change I had. There's no crashing of the water. You can see all the algae on the walls growing. This is a new tank, so it's at the yellow algae stage, but pretty soon you end up getting the green algae next, and that tells me that's fully established right there. But ever since the RO water change, I stopped getting a lot of the black hair algae like that growing everywhere, and it's starting to die out. I had it everywhere, even in this tank. But yeah, it's been an awesome experience with these little dudes. Hopefully, pretty soon I could start breeding them. Might be a little too early. I'm thinking by next year, mid next year, I'll be able to breed them and actually have successful batches. So, but yeah, the stages of these little dudes are so awesome. I mean, their colors, those bars, these are wild. So I got red alacars. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. I also have a couple of mixed heckles in here. What they're mixed with, I really don't know. It wasn't stated what they're mixed with. But all these are Hans discus. The smaller ones, the red over there, are gonna be like this big guy, which are blue rims. And his blue rims finally starting coming back with a good diet and not being stressed out. But these guys, that's what they're gonna be looking like. It's beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. And then I got a couple more fishes that I'm planning on getting pretty soon from a top breeder. I've been kind of overwatching his growth on the fishes that he's doing, what he's mixing and breeding. He doesn't deal with domesticated fish. He likes the wild look, so all the wilds or something that catches my eye. So I'm kind of excited to get a couple from him. Maybe mix breed with what I have. But yeah, you could definitely see the A class, B class, and C class in these two. And that's the thing when you're buying these young. Even still now, like the blue rims. I mean, look at these guys. They don't only have their full color right now. And like I said, this is only 6 months. This guy's at 5 years. So it says a lot. It says a lot. Kind of a timeline of what to expect when you're. I really truly don't think customers should be having juveniles unless they are experienced with the bigger guys. Well, if you could read your bigger guys, see your bigger guys, and say, hey, like, oh, I think there's something going on. I'm noticing a little bit of weird swim, or I'm noticing a weird eating pattern that's not normal. If you can't see that kind of stuff, and like with every fish, I mean, nobody really knows until you have that fish, and even then, that's your characteristic, right? There's some that are fat asses, and there's some that will be shy eaters, and I have a couple shy eaters in this tank, and as you can see, the little guy, he's not a shy eater, he's front, but the shy eaters are more of the red rims and some of the ones that hang back in this corner, like over there. They'll hide off, and I start to think, oh, they're sick or something's going on. No, it's just characteristics of the pecking order, and it's really cool to see, because then oh, it's time to dose, oh, it's not time to dose, or you check your temperatures, you check your TDS, you take your pHs, and you check your water quality, and it makes you on top of your things when you're able to see that kind of stuff early on. But I had been keeping an eye on these guys because they've been kind of just chilling. They don't look like they go for food as much. but they're thick and they do eat. They eat at their own pace, and this little guy's more aggressive than the one that's in the background over here. So this guy over here in the backpack, he's more aggressive, but with all due time, this guy, this is the only time you ever see him out front and center like this, because when he's in this big tank, these guys don't even let him come out. He'll hide in that bush or underneath that log right there all day. These guys are fucking mean. They're very mean. I'm very surprised they're very tolerant of each other. At the time that I've had these, they'll pick off their own. I've noticed, like, to a point where if they see one sick, they all team up on that one sick. And so it's a very interesting characteristic with these fish. I debate whether if I want to actually breed them or have them part of the breeding, because just besides their defects that they have already in their genetics, this ability to be getting sick continuously. For instance, like this big guy over here, and it's just, I don't know. He's barely getting his fins back and everything, as you can see. That's why his fins kind of look a little weird along the edges. So he's already gotten sick and came back, gotten sick, came back. And so and these guys never got sick. Nothing. It's just sometimes genetics. So even the biggest guy, you know, is sometimes not the best choice. I mean, I truly believe that there's some breeders that overbreed a line or overbreed a fish, and some of those are shown in these fishes. And so let me see if I could get a close up on. So there's something called chipped eyes. There's some chipped eyes right there. So when I bought these guys, I didn't see them. I bought them online. Here's another chipped eye. But I mean, they're beautiful fishes. From a good distance, they're beautiful. I mean, I love them. I wouldn't want to get rid of them or trade them. They're hard to find, actually, which is the only reason why I would want to breed them. But with the type of aggressiveness to them, the way they act upon each other, it's just, I don't know. I wouldn't want to breed a fish that I noticed that is like this. But at the same time, I mean, some people say that's what you get when you get domesticated discus, and these are basically very domesticated. These are Asian discus, and you can see a difference in them. They're definitely not wild. What is interesting is when they get stressed, they do get the bars, but they get white bars, which is really cool. So on this guy, you can almost see 2 white bars at the back end. So that's when I start to notice, okay, there's something going on with these guys. How's their color? I try to look at their poop. Like this guy, he's pooping right now. It looks pretty normal to me. No discharge or anything like that is gonna make me want a dose. So usually before dosing an entirety tank or taking a fish out to medicate them, I feed them some flakes that are, let me get them. So Aquanix. So these guys, I feed my fish this shit. I soak it up with garlic, with the discus garlic, so that they could enjoy this a little bit more. It has a lot of good protein in it, but also mixed with Metroplex. Well, not Metroplex, but metronidazole. And so it's not a lot. It's only like 2%, I believe. Yeah, 2%. So you can't over medicate. I don't think you can over medicate, and when you're soaking this, you don't want to over soak it with the garlic. You want it just enough to soak it in. Because if you have any juices left over, then those juices will be kind of, you can see it in the color of the juice. Like, it looks like it sucks up some of the ingredients out of it. So I try to feed these with a soaked bear that gets dried up. What I mean by that is, like, even though it pulls some of the liquid out, I let it get dried to the point where it's almost flaky again. So they'll have their garlic taste to it. But yeah, these guys are awesome. Other than their aggressiveness, but as you can see, this guy is nose front down, which is telling me that is a little bit weird. Even though he's grazing, but when I go and I call him to the front, if you look, he has slight trouble coming towards with his nose up in the air. These guys. So that tells me that something's going on. And usually that's a swim bladder issue. If he has a swim bladder issue, it could be something from a bacteria issue. I think a good water change on this tank would do him some good. I try not to add any salt, but with cases like this, when this guy's injured, look at his fin, and he's doing something like that, I'll add a little bit of the sea salt mixture to my, just enough to not pass a TDS of like maybe 300, you know. So I try to keep these guys at a good TDS. But yeah, alright, well, that's it for this video. But just want to kind of give a little idea of what I'm working with and what's going on with these fish. Oscar Char is loving it here. He's just really chill, aren't you, buddy? Yeah, he lets me pet him from time to time. This morning I woke him up petting him, and he was like, "Hey, what's up?" Good fish.